Telecel, connecting energies.
Hello, my name is Pamela from customer service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
Hi, it's me. The one you poke, sip, and hopefully love. I'm your small reminder that growing up doesn't mean growing out of me. Trends come and go, but you still reach for me. I'm not just a drink, I'm that little sip that reminds you life can still be sweet. Calipo fruit juice drink, making sweet memories. This advert is FDA approved.
Well, good evening. Welcome to JoyNews Prime. This broadcast is live from our studios here at Sokomlimli in Accra. We're live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV 125, and around the world on myjoyonline.com. I am Emmanuel Samani.
And I'm Noella. Kharyne Yalley. Tonight, half of Ghanaian women are now overweight or obese as the country battles double burden for malnutrition.
Also tonight, NDPC warns of jobless economic growth despite improving macroeconomic indicators.
Also tonight, 15 people feared dead in a gory crash at Konongo as concerns mount over road safety.
Also in the bulletin tonight, court strikes out Hanan Abdul Wahab's travel order after Attorney General's application.
We've got business
Bank of Ghana directs all existing rural and community banks to complete their statutory name changes, corporate rebranding, and other regulatory requirements by 31st December 2026.
And in Prime Sports,
former Ghana international Lai Kingston says the country must have a long-term coach if our various national teams want to achieve or chalk success.
And this is JoyNews. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. We're back in a bit.
Welcome to the program. Tonight, the death toll from Wednesday night's fatal road crash at Odomase near Konongo in the Ashanti region has risen to 14 after another body was retrieved from the wreckage, with one more victim still trapped under the rubble after the incident vehicle nearly 24 hours after the collision.
The death toll of Wednesday night's tragic accident at Odomase in the Ashanti region has increased to 14 as the body of a male adult has been discovered from the accident scene. One more victim is reported trapped under the accident vehicle almost 24 hours after the accident. Medical officers at the Achim Central Municipal Hospital say 32 victims, including 9 children aged between 7 months and 2 years, have been stabilized as doctors monitored their recovery. 13 more patients have been stabilized at the Stewards Hospital, a private facility in Yakwei, and are out of danger. Kofi Yeboah, an Okada rider who was attracted by the explosion that followed the collision, tells JoyNews it took several minutes before the arrival of emergency service providers.
And we are at our station, and we heard explosion, heavy explosion. The car crashed here, and we just rushed here and just saw one bus, one tomato car, and highly flammable petrol tanker involved in the accident. Like, we rushed there and saw some passengers who are in very critical conditions, and we rushed them and take the responsibility to ourselves to rescue them.
Yeboah had an accident at the same spot about a month ago. He's worried this sport has gained notoriety for road traffic accidents.
As for me, this is not the first time. You can just check on my hair, my forehead. You can see there is a mark here. Coming Saturday, it's even 1 month. I got accident from here. This the same place. You can see at your back the hole is there. The same hole can trick you. Here is accident prone. So many accidents have been caused here.
One of the accident victims, 20-year-old Maybe Agbelo, tells JoyNews the cargo truck veered off onto the lane of their bus, leading to the accident.
Gas can also by the same. And the got tracing na accident to Kharyne and dry union.
Yes, you know, bus and overtaking and then I'm a quem, one and over.
Then Naniquem, Ntos Kana Afaka Afa Kharyne, and you on Warbano, we mean 7 who and I say, we who, and Titamna, ye dear na bed ra Nilemuno, and on Sabino, Betamwe.
The Konongo Divisional Commander of the Police Motor Traffic and Transport Division, ASP Frank Asari, says 2 accidents were recorded at the same spot on Wednesday. The situation forced NATMO to mount warning signposts to warn motorists of the dangers on the road. Police say motorists would rather choose to either overtake wrongly or overspeed. Meanwhile, residents are asking when the abandoned Konongo bypass project could be completed to reduce the carnage on the road.
Well, let's now cross over live to the scene where my colleague Ohiming Teria is standing by with the very latest. Ohiming, what can you report? Hi, Ohiming, can you hear me?
It's been a very long day for the Konongo Police MTTD, where
Ohimini, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Yes, so it's been a very long day for the police in Konongo as they try as much as possible to protect the accident scene and also go through the accident vehicles. They are doing everything possible after news came in that some of the victims on board the DAF bus that traveled all the way from Aveime on its way to Yeji and was involved in the accident could be still trapped under the bus. So police involved the recovery trucks to move the accident vehicles away from the scene in anticipation that more victims could be recovered. Lo and behold, as the rescue efforts and search efforts were underway, one more body, that of a male adult identified as Yeji, age 30, was found under the accident bus. It is late, but you can see that we still have workers, especially the police personnel, trying to search through the items left behind at the accident scene to see if they could find more victims. Because according to the owner of the bus, there were 2 mechanics on board the bus. They were all picked from Nkoko. And he's been searching all the mortuaries and the hospitals to see if he could find them alive or dead. But when he didn't find them, he decided to beckon on the police to kind of carry out some search party to see if they could identify or find some of the victims under the bar. So once one person has been found, the owner anticipates that another person identified as Daniel could be identified or found at the accident scene. I must say that the accident has also created and added up to the already heavy vehicular traffic on the Kumasi-Accra road, especially when you are entering the Konongo and the Odumase townships. This has sort of kind of increased the road traffic here on the road. Let's see and speak to ASP Frank Asarewua, the Konongo Divisional MTTD Commander, and get more understanding, more information from him as to what is happening here. So, Chief, thanks for speaking to us. I must say it's been a very long day for you and your men. How has it been for you as far as protecting the accident scene and also searching for more victims are concerned?
Yeah, we've been here since yesterday night. We've been working all day out to find the victims and the dead bodies. But around 9 a.m. in the morning, 12 dead bodies were recovered and some victims were also recovered. And they were taken to the various hospitals in our locality, that is Konongo Government Hospital and Seward Hospital. In the afternoon, we had information from a relative that 2 of his brothers were in the bus and he couldn't locate them when he visited the hospital and the morgue. So we arranged for the towing vehicle. We came back to the scene and the towing vehicle moved the 2 vehicles from their respective position. And through the search, 1 body was discovered. And they were anticipating that because they were 2, they think there's another person. So we've been searching. And that is where we've reached now, trying to see if we can still locate the other one. But currently, we've only located only 1. So we are still doing the search.
Let's talk about how you continue with the search process. I mean, the search efforts. What is exactly happening here? Because I could see some men using torch. What exactly are they doing? Now that the vehicles have been moved away?
Yeah, the victims, some too were complaining that their luggages are behind. So we've organized a search to search for the luggages, and if we can find some of the dead bodies, that is the work we are doing now. If we can locate the dead body or the victims, their bags, luggages, we are also searching for them.
When will this search, end? Because it's almost it's already 7 p.m. Almost 24 hours after the accident. When will this search end?
For now, that the towing vehicle have removed the vehicles to different positions. I think we will be doing it about an hour time. If nothing is found, we will break and come tomorrow morning to continue with the search.
So that has been the Korongo Divisional MTTD commander giving us update on the accident that occurred at the Odumase in the Asante Achim Central Municipality. I must say this has attracted a large crowd to this scene. People continue to troop to the accident scene, trying to understand what is really happening. But the news team is here. We'll continue to be with the police as the search continues.
Thank you so much, Ohiming, for that excellent reportage. Let's now, engage my colleague Jason Day, who's with the data and research team here at JoyNews, and he's going to paint a picture of how many crashes or road accidents have been recorded and what the trends look like. Jason, take us through the data on road crashes in Ghana. What does the trend tell us?
So it's important to know that the Accra-Kumasi Highway spans through 3 regions. That's the Greater Accra region, the Eastern region, and then the Ashanti region. So what we did was went into the NRSA report, and then we saw that road crashes in 2025 in these 3 regions were the top 3. They topped the chart in 11,158 crashes in 2025. And out of that, there were 1,700 deaths. What that means is that in every at least 10, there's 1 death. So that's what we found in 2025, but this is Kharyne. And then we looked at the data as how many crashes or deaths had occurred along that stretch. And we counted through media reports and other reports, and we counted that at least 13 crashes have occurred across that stretch in 2025 and 2026, from 2025 January to now. There have been 13 crashes now. Out of that, how many deaths have occurred? This is the number of deaths.
Wow.
These are the number of people that have died along that stretch in just about 1.5 years.
13 crashes, and we have almost 60 deaths.
Yes. And the next number is also going to shock you. There have been 213 people whose lives have never been the same just because they were on that particular stretch.
Jason, thank you. Thank you so much for that update there. But let's still stay on road crashes, because a video circulating widely on social media has portrayed the driver of a Toyota Vitz as a hero after he was said to have sacrificed his vehicle to stop a runaway truck on the Ofanko Highway and saved other motorists. But a JoyNews investigation has found the story being celebrated online is very different from what actually happened. My colleague Emmanuel has more on this report.
This is the Ofanko Highway, where on Monday this happened. By evening, social media was flooded with praise for this man, a Vitz driver hailed on social media as hero for steering his car into the path of a truck with field brakes from plowing into other road users. The story spread fast, but when we came down to Ofanko to find out more, the accounts on the grounds did not add up. According to the man who witnessed it all, this is no act of heroism.
Baby, I tell you, say na deny. Antenia, ana fufu no so ba. Ento ohu we no, wo say cars na ba no, on say omu obirika. Ento slow down. Na vit no play smart. Oh, into want to me anya smart. And the break na no wa prana o banja fire no bia nitua. O pra break ni sa serious. Until last minute ko wie wo baby asa tuna no na mu nyina ko gina until when they see as police for no buy abese petrol man odo mu nyina ko.
To get a full picture, we went to Achimota Mile 7 District Police MTTD station, where both vehicles have been impounded pending investigations.
It's not true. It's just a reckless driving. Preliminary investigation shows that the VID driver drove recklessly. Yeah, that's the actual thing. It's not that the truck driver feel the brake and the vehicle driver try to. No, it's not that.
We spoke to the truck driver himself.
Now speed won't take 10. Yana Cress break na my feel. The crowd move na my force at 300 bricks. Me type a pipe and Mancumo Bia. Mancumo as in Bia City, make you humbly sorry, Jina bricks soon and Yame boy in as in Bia Moja Bia and P.
The commander added that the vid driver was using a temporary license.
So I asked him, for how long have you been driving? He said about two months now. Clearly, his driving license, he's using a temporary driving license.
And there is a cost to the confusion. The truck driver says he's now facing demurrage charges for failing to return his container to the port on time.
Demurrage won't, because demurrage won't. Let's say 4 days in Not demurrage one that I know as some way so as I see my account.
As for the vid driver being celebrated on social media, he declined to speak with us on camera, but admitted to wrongdoing. Police say dockets are being prepared and the vid driver will be arraigned. For now, the man social media crowned a hero is the one police allege caused the accident. Emmanuel, JoyNews of Anko.
Wow.
I guess we get to say traditional media one, social media.
And this is why we're JoyNews. We're credible.
Anyway, the National Development Planning Commission has painted a worrying picture of Ghana's labor market, describing the country's economic growth as largely jobless. The commission says its 2022 to 2025 annual progress report shows that although Ghana achieved its economic growth target of 6% during the period, the expansion of the economy failed to generate enough employment opportunities. Now, the report compiled as part of the Commission's constitutional mandate to assess the impact of government policies on the lives of Ghanaians, and it points to the underperformance of the industrial sector as a major reason employment growth fell short of expectations despite strong macroeconomic performance. There's more on the following report.
Said we at the commission were expecting industry to play a major role in our economic development and to create the jobs we need, the youth need. But the data shows that that didn't work. It didn't work. So the growth we are seeing, 6.0, we are seeing, it's actually a jobless growth. Look at the performance of industry. It actually contracted in 2021, contracted in 2023, and just some slight expansion. The only time that industry did well was in 2024 because of the contribution of gold and the mining and quarry subsector of the economy. But last year, it's only gold that improved a little. All the others in that category or subsector performed poorly. That's the reason why we recorded 2.3. But if this were to grow as expected, then your question, issue of unemployment would also be affected. Because the more jobs there are in the system, the more these youths will be absorbed to work. But unfortunately, we didn't grow that way.
Well, for more on this, let's go on to the phone lines and speak to the Director of Research and Innovation at the National Development Planning Commission, Richard Trinebua Korea, for more on this. Richard, I want to find out from you, how did the Commission arrive at the conclusion that Ghana is experiencing jobless economic growth? Can you explain that to us in simple terms?
Yes, so thank you for the opportunity once again, and just to let Ghanaians know that this report provides opportunity for all of us to see our performance as a nation development indicators that we set for ourselves. Yes, the GDP growth in for 2025, the real GDP growth.
Richard, if you can hear me, I'm finding it very difficult to hear what you're saying. So could you kindly reposition yourself and let's try again?
Is it better now?
Yes, much better. Please proceed.
Okay, thank you. So I was just making the point that the real GDP growth expected for 2025, overall real GDP was 6%. But when you break it down to our great industry and services, the industry part, the contribution from industry, the growth at the industry level,
right,
was not as expected. We were hoping to, or we targeted to grow at 6%, and we rather at 7.1%, and we rather achieved just a little over 2%,
right.
2.3 to be specific. Meanwhile, our understanding and our analysis shows that it's under the industry sector that we are able to generate more jobs. And so, yes, the overall GDP growth 6% is encouraging, but the industry sector that is supposed to provide more jobs did not grow as expected.
Right.
And as we all could witness, you see lots of youth not employed, lots of people employed, but in areas that they themselves don't see as the area that they want such employment. The jobs are not decent enough, they are not regular enough, and it doesn't provide opportunities for sustainable livelihood.
Right.
And that is why we encourage that we focus more on our industrialization drive, so that we can do more at the industry, agriculture sector, and be able to employ more youth. Once people have jobs to do, it also affects several other economic indicators, social indicators, and governance indicators as well.
Right, Richard, I would have loved to continue this conversation with you, but unfortunately, your line doesn't seem to be too clear for us to hear you clearly, and so I would pick up going forward. Thank you so much for your time.
Now, 1 in every 2 women in Ghana is now overweight or obese, as the Food and Drugs Authority raises concern over the country's growing nutrition crisis. Now, the prevalence of obesity among women has risen dramatically from just 10% in 1993 to 50% in 2022. Now, health experts warn the trend is increasing the risk of hypertension, diabetes, and other non-communicable diseases. And according to the World Health Organization, the rise has been fueled by changing diets, increasing consumption of processed foods, and growing food poverty. The concerns were raised at the launch of the FDA's double-duty nutrition profiling system. And want to get more from the data perspective with my colleague Jason Day, who joins us again with more insights from, that research. So tell us the distinctive difference, Jason, between being obese and being overweight.
So it's important, right? They are almost the same, but then overweight, if someone is overweight, it's just someone who has more mass than their height. I mean, more weight than their height. So you are just slightly higher than you're heavier than your height, basically. So
in terms of your BMI, for example.
So the BMI is what I'm referring to. Yeah. So it's basically just your weight and your height. The division of that and is measured onto a certain number. So if you are a man, or if you are in between 25 and 30, you are overweight. But anything above 30 is obese. So I think we can get more on that when we speak to nutritionists. But I'm the data guy. I can tell you that the Food and Drugs Authority say that there are 40% of overweight. I mean, the number that you mentioned, 40% of them are overweight, and then 60% are obese, obese and all those things. But here's the 1 in 2 women that you were talking about. That these are women aged between 20 and 50 years. They are living with obesity. They are persons who are not just overweight, but then they are higher than that. What that means is that in a room where there are 2 women, one of them will be obese. And then what that means is that in a country where there are half of us, almost or more than half of us are women, that's 30 million of us, that means, and half of those women are living with obesity. What that means is that 7.9 million Ghanaian women are living with obesity in the country currently. And then what that means is that, and also in the World Health Organization has also brought out data that as of 2022, there were 890 million people, that's men and women, living with obesity. And then 2.5 billion people, these are men and women combined. For Ghana, we did not have the data for the men living with obesity. That was because of the data that was available to us. But I'm sure when we speak to those in charge of FDA, they will tell you that I think it's around 21%, but I'm not totally sure. But yeah, 21% of men in Ghana are also living with obesity. Now, this is also an important picture I would like us to look at, because globally, we can see that majority of the people in the world are overweight, with just a few of them living with obesity. But then this is the global picture.
This is gender non-specific.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the global picture of about the 7 billion people of us in the world. Now,
8 billion.
43% of that number, of everybody in the 7 continents of this world, are overweight. And just 16% of them are living.
So basically, 59% of the world is unhealthy.
You can say that, Samani.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for your time. But let's get more insights as we're joined via Zoom. We have Professor of Public Health Nutrition, Amos Lam, for his thoughts on this. Doc, Prof, I beg your pardon, many thanks for your time. These statistics is quite worrying from your standpoint, don't you agree?
Exactly right. Given that, of course, obesity itself, a non-communicable disease, is a precursor or a risk factor for other non-communicable diseases. And so, as your statistics, rightly indicated, if you have 1 in 2 women either overweight or obese in Ghana, it means their risk of hypertension, other non-communicable diseases is high, and that's to be worrying. Obesity is a very complex condition, and its complexity is linked to its pathophysiology as with its causes. Some of the causes are structural. You also mentioned diet. And so there are multiple determinants of obesity, but I think one of the most important is diet. So what we eat or what we do not eat. Currently, not only Ghanaian population, but the world population is eating too much of what they shouldn't be eating, and very little of what they should be eating. And so that is contributing to this. But you can't blame individuals for not eating, enough of what they should be eating, and as I indicated, eating too little of what they should be eating, and too much of what they shouldn't be eating. There's a construct we refer to as food environment, and so this is the interface where consumers like you and I interact with the food system, another complex system, and make decisions as to what we should eat, where we should eat it, with whom, how. And so this interface is responsible for what is easily available, what is affordable, and what is marketed. And as you and I know, there's a lot of aggressive marketing, and even lately aggressive pricing of those foods that are unhealthy. And because they are aggressively marketed, they are aggressively priced, we end up seeing them all over and over again, and we consume them because they're also cheap.
So Prof, what is the way forward? Because like you've indicated, there's aggressive marketing for some of these ultra-processed foods, etc. In other jurisdictions, you would have, the labels containing X amount of sugar, X amount of calories, etc. But we don't have that here. So what can we do also from the side of the FDA, for example, Ghana Health Service and other stakeholders to ensure that these highly aggressive or aggressively marketed foods, which have been programmed to make you crave for them in terms of their color, in terms of, all the marketing that goes into it, how can we fight this war, for lack of a better term?
You are exactly right. It's a war. It's a war that needs to be fought, and it has to be won. If we fight and we do not win, we are all doomed. But the solution is in the horizon. Just yesterday, the Food and Drugs Authority launched what we technically refer to as a nutrient profiling system. This is a tool that scientifically can be used to classify food as to whether they are healthy or unhealthy. And if food based on this scientific tool are deemed to be unhealthy, it activates a number of policy instruments or policies. And so we have what we call front of pack labeling policy, as you noted, marketing restriction policy, public food procurement policy, or food-related fiscal policy, so for the promotion of healthy diet. And so I don't know how much time I have, but if you take each one of them, labeling, the front of pack labeling is done in such a way that is accessible, not only just to the nutrition literate, but ordinary population once they've been socialized. And so you see a label and you can tell this food has too much salt, it has too much sugar. And so if you have to consume it, you probably would consume it in moderation. So that is one intervention. The marketing restrictions intervention would then ensure that foods that are deemed to be unhealthy or health harming are not allowed to be marketed, especially targeting children.
Right.
And so and so on and so forth. So those are the interventions that currently the Ministry of Health has 4 policies that have been drafted. We are awaiting ministerial sign-off, and those policies can be implemented to address the structural causes of obesity.
Professor Amos La, thank you so much for your time.
You're still watching JoyNews Prime. We're taking a quick breather here. We're back with more.
When malaria shows up, it doesn't knock. It just takes over.
No. This fever is too much.
When malaria comes,
respond with Mala 2.
Fight malaria with Mala 2 tablets or syrup from Ernest Chemists. Test for malaria first before taking Mala 2. If symptoms persist for more than 48 hours, see a doctor. This advert is FDA approved.
Hi, it's me. The one you poke, sip, and hopefully love. I'm your small reminder that growing up doesn't mean growing out of me. Trends come and go, but you still reach for me. I'm not just a drink, I'm that little sip that reminds you life can still be sweet. Calipo fruit juice drink, making sweet memories. This advert is FDA approved.
Days are extremely busy. Work, traffic jams, meetings, conference calls. Luckily, our mom is here to take good care of us with day-by-day baby and day-by-day kids and their naturally active ingredients. Our skin is hydrated, soothed, and protected all day long. Yes, hello?
Palladium Residences in Achimota isn't just an address, it's the home you truly earned. Secure your place with just a 10% deposit and choose from beautifully designed modern apartments or spacious townhouses built for everyday comfort. This is more than a building. It's a vibrant, curated community with a clubhouse, state-of-the-art gym, and an on-site hotel. all at ABC Junction, minutes from Achimota Mall. Enjoy city energy while retreating to your private sanctuary. Call now to reserve your unit and benefit from limited launch incentives, including priority unit selection, executive pricing, and flexible payment options available. Don't miss the chance to pick the best homes. Book your private site visit today. Call 050-9823-424. Palladium Residences. Live smart, invest better.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,247.
Hey, Abili, wabedim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
Another week is here on the greatest of all time show. My name is Giovanni Clip, and tonight we're bringing you talent. Contestant number 1, let's bring Baby Girl. Let's bring. You did it for you.
Cut. Oh, there is a leakage.
Where's the plumber? For quality and durability, insist on Syntex pipes.
If you want quality, this be where you belong.
Strong, tough, and reliable. Your perfect match to your trusted Syntex pipe. Syntex pipe, it they carry water, no wahala. Syntex pipe, it they make water they flow. Syntex, and you're strong, and you're tough.
Passes, bad referee decisions. Don't let your child's grades suffer a bad match. Ensure a straight win this academic season with curriculum-aligned textbooks and interactive tools from Pegasus Publishing. From preschool to senior high school, we have the exact game plan your kids need to ace their classes. And because it's World Cup season, you get a massive 20% off every single book. Don't drop points. Call 059-50-10175 or dash to Pegasus Publishing in Accra, Newtown, right opposite the Total Energy Station. Free delivery within Accra when you call. Pegasus Publishing, shaping minds, winning futures.
Malaria's remedy is Lonat. Therefore, we're gonna use Lonat to recover. You have malaria? Yes, are you shivering? Yes, yes. You got chills? Yes, take Lonat. First day, take Lonat. Second day, take Lonat. Third day, take Lonat. That's all. Lonat scatter malaria. Lonat scatter malaria.
This advert is FDA approved.
welcome back. This is JoyNews Prime.
So on News Tonight, an Accra High Court has struck out an application filed by the Attorney General seeking to revoke permission granted to the former National Buffalo Company Chief Executive Hanan Abdul-Wahab to travel to London for medical treatment. The court ruled that the travel order expired on July 12, making the state's application unnecessary and incapable of determination. Fatal Bayaga reports.
Hanan Abdul-Wahab was granted permission to travel to the UK between July 4 and July 12, but was subsequently arrested at the Accra International Airport after prosecutors alleged that he had breached aspects of his bail conditions. When the prosecution attempted to move a motion seeking the revocation of Hanan's travel permission, the presiding judge, Justice Francis Apanga Achimonga, drew the attention of Deputy Attorney General Justice Rimsai to the fact that the travel order had already elapsed, leaving nothing to revoke. Justice Rimsai subsequently sought leave of the court to withdraw the application, which the judge struck out as withdrawn. Former Attorney General and lead counsel for Hanan, Godfrey Addo, reacted to the proceedings, describing the Attorney General's actions as surprising.
I'm surprised that the Deputy Attorney General will come to court seeking to revoke an order which has lapsed. So clearly that application was incompetent, could not be granted because the order had lapsed.
He also said he was baffled by what he described as the court's apparent lack of interest in compelling the state to comply with its earlier orders to return his client's passport to the court registry.
Now, the reason why I'm quite baffled by what the court did today is that, well, the order for the passport to return to registry was actually given by the court, was part of the court's orders, both at the time bill was granted to him and also at the time this order for him to travel was granted, that after traveling, he should return the passport by 14 July. And that has not been done because Yoku arrested him and is keeping the passport. So if the court is not interested in ensuring a compliance with this order for the passport to return to the court registry, I do not mind. We will not make any application at all to the court for any passport to release.
Godfrey Addo further stated that his client's money remains in the possession of the Economic and Organized Crime Office and that he would pursue the appropriate legal remedies to secure its release.
You cannot arrest a person and seize money which is on him. They've seized his money. I don't know whether they've spent the money, Yoko has spent the money or not. I mean, the money that was not taken out of the account that they claim was frozen. Clearly, the account that was frozen was not assessed because there was no check written by Hanan to withdraw any money. He borrowed money for his travel, about £7,000, and they've seized it. And they've seized it, and it's with Yoko, the executive director.
Meanwhile, Justice Rimsai declined to comment on the court's proceedings.
Regarding the human sentencing? Oh, no comment.
For JoyNews, Fatal Bayaga, Accra High Court.
Our government has given the Ministry of Health clearance to recruit 16,000 nurses, with the majority expected to be deployed to undeserved communities across the country. President John Mahama made the announcement during his Resetting Ghana tour of the Volta region, and the president also announced approval for the recruitment of 16,000 newly trained teachers, saying the move forms part of government's efforts to address critical staffing gaps in the education and health sectors. Now, he further indicated that the Big Push infrastructure program has already created an estimated 300,000 direct and indirect jobs. And Presidential Affairs correspondent Maxwell Agbagba has more.
President Mahamad's Resetting Ghana tour started from Dwapon, where he cut the sword for the construction of a 24-hour market. There, he said government has selected a strategic investor to partner in the revitalization of the Volta Star Textiles Limited, popularly known as Dwapon Textiles, with work expected to begin soon to modernize the factory. The president also said the necessary verification, assessment, and administrative processes relating to compensation for persons affected by the Akosombo Dam spillage are being concluded. During an inspection of 1,500 assembly hall for the Peki College of Education, the president announced approval for the recruitment of at least 16,000 newly trained teachers as part of efforts to clear the backlog of graduates from the colleges of education awaiting employment.
I want to congratulate all of you and encourage you to study hard. We're trying to clear the backlog of your seniors who have finished and have not yet been employed. And so we've given clearance for the Ministry of Education to start employing at least 16,000 new teachers. We want to clear the backlog so that when you finish and come, you will not have to mark time before we find jobs for you.
President Mahama also said government has given clearance for the recruitment of 16,000 nurses, majority to be deployed to underserved areas.
Right now, we're giving him clearance to open the portal to absorb 16,000 nurses in 2 batches. The first batch is 8,000, the second batch is 8,000. So that by the time my daughters and sons who are waiting to complete training camp, there'll be a shorter queue before they are posted. But the caveat we're giving is most of those that we're employing now, we are sending you to underserved areas. And like Florence Nightingale said, she would not. You see, when I said underserved areas, you were very quiet.
The president also inspected ongoing Big Push roads projects in the region. He said the initiative has created 300,000 direct and indirect jobs.
Aside from that, I'm happy to note, as I go around the country, I look at the sites of the contractors, and you see a lot of young people have gotten work during the construction phase. It is estimated that with the current projects that we're doing, at least 300,000 direct and indirect jobs have been created. Direct are those who are working directly on the projects. Indirect are the food sellers who are selling to them, the quarries that are producing the rock for them, the filling stations that are providing them with the fuel, the cement distributors that are selling cement, the iron rod distributors that are selling iron rods. If you take all that together, we estimate that about 300,000 jobs have been created just because of this big push.
Now, the Economic and Organized Crime Office says the Wager Children's Hospital will soon open to the public following a handover agreement reached between the Ministry of Health and Awerco Construction Limited. The contractor for the project, Yoko, says it brokered the agreement to allow the immediate transfer of the completed facility to the Ministry of Health so healthcare services can begin without further delay. The office says the agreement was reached despite unresolved procurement and financial issues that remain under investigation. Yoko insists its investigations into alleged procurement breaches, financial impropriety, and related offences will continue and will not be affected by the operationalization of the hospital. It says the arrangement ensures the completed facility finally begins serving the public while accountability processes continue.
Well, we'll take a break here to bring you showbiz. Stay tuned in.
So this strategy will lead. Oh no, not again.
Say, relax. The generator will come on now.
The generator is not working.
Why stress yourself when the experts are just one tap away? Introducing Left Power, the smart emergency support app from Left Signature Limited. With Left Power, certified engineers respond fast, anytime, anywhere. No delays, no stories.
Hello, sir. This is Left Signature Limited. The request has been received and our engineers are already on their way. Please relax. We've got you covered.
This is professional. Every Left expert is certified, verified, and can be tracked in real time. Oh, you'll know they're coming before they even arrive. From electrical engineering and solar power systems to data center management, cloud services, smart automation, and software development, Left Signature delivers excellence, fast, reliable, and professional. Left Power.
Your solution is just one tap away.
Available on Play Store and App Store.
happy to me.
Ghana's digital economy is booming. Millions of transactions, billions of cities, a future powered by technology. But beneath the convenience lies a growing threat.
Now it's becoming more towards digital fraud.
If we place convenience excessively over security, we run the risk of breaking down the number one currency that we have in that ecosystem, and that is trust.
The Digital Economy Forum is a thought leadership series examining the opportunities, risks, and choices shaping Ghana's economic future. In our maiden edition, we tackle a critical issue, the trust crisis, why fraud is holding back Ghana's digital economy.
We need to have a 360-degree solution.
Join Head of FinTech and Innovation at the Bank of Ghana, Elhanan Oreku Asare, Economics Professor Godfred Bokpin, CEO of Ghana Association of Banks, John Ewa, Executive Chairman of E-Crime Bureau, Dr. Albert Enchibuesiako, Chief Risk and Compliance Officer at Mobile Money FinTech Limited, Godwin Tamaklo, Deputy Director General in charge of Technical Operations at the Cybersecurity Authority, Stephen Kujo Seshi, and Head of Internal Affairs at Haptel, Ebenezer Bofo. The Digital Economy Forum, the Trust Crisis, why fraud is holding back Ghana's digital economy. Brought to you in partnership with Haptel. It's happening on Wednesday, July 22nd at 8 p.m. live on JoyNews, Joy FM, and across our social media platform.
Upgrade your print game with Konica Minolta, proudly powered by SkySat Technologies. From all-in-one machines that print, scan, and copy to professional systems and heavy-duty production machines, we deliver and match performance. Right now, SkySat has an unbeatable offer. 1 entire year of free servicing on all Konica Minolta machines. That's 12 months of expert maintenance for new and existing customers. Visit our new VIP print center at Pegasus Place, Airport Residential Area for a live demonstration. Call us on 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. Again, it's 050-164-5180 or 0302-798-829. SkySat Technologies. Performance that delivers every time.
Well, it's time for Showbiz, and Becky's in the building.
Thank you so much for having me here. Veteran Ghanaian gospel group Daughters of Glorious Jesus is breathing new life into its timeless classic, reintroducing some of its most beloved songs to connect with younger audiences while preserving the enduring messages of the gospel.
Veteran Ghanaian gospel group Daughters of Glorious Jesus was formed in 1989. The group comprises Cynthia Apiedu, Edna Sapong, and Monica Oswansa.
You know, and the name is Daughters of Glorious Jesus. We always want to project the name of Jesus and also give the glory to him, because we are empty vessels. It is God who always uses us to be a blessing to his people. This little girl started in Kumasi, where we were born. We were going to Sunday school at Ashanti Newtown. So we were just doing that, and somebody took us to Central Assemblies of God. That's where we started. And also, we met another person. That person took us to Santasi. That is the late Francis Akwesi Amwako's fellowship.
With more than 50 songs to their credit, Daughters of Glorious Jesus are widely recognized as one of Ghana's most prolific gospel groups. They released their debut album Akufo-Addo in 1990, which brought them nationwide recognition. By 2019, the trio had released 12 albums and celebrated 30 years in Ghana's music industry.
How have you guys managed to stick together? Because you have your own family, she has her own family, she does. You guys don't live together.
No.
So
it was before.
How does that work?
I would say the strength is from God. It is not our own strength. It is not how smart we are or how beautiful we are and then we are moving. No. it is God who is with us. And we have determined that no matter what will happen to us, we will do the work of God, which the Lord has given to us. And also, the Bible says in Psalm 133, it says, "Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together." The Bible says, how good and how pleasant. It tells you that when you come together as unity, as one people, that is where the Lord commands his blessings.
Today, the group says it is reintroducing its classic songs to connect with younger audiences while preserving the timeless message of the gospel. Beyond preserving their music, the trio says it hopes the project will leave a lasting spiritual legacy for future generations. For JoyNews, my name is Becky.
Well, on that beautiful note, we end showbiz here on JoyNews Prime.
Well, of course, you can find more news when you log onto our website. It's myjoyonline.com. See you tomorrow.
All these were food.
Food to the brain, man, Kasa.
I only took small, Peo. Small. You pour like waterfall.
Let's check the camera, shall we? What camera?
Hey, I knew it.
Hey.
Hey, Mommy, Daddy.
Fruit is for sharing. No need to hide to enjoy.
Family that share together.
Stay together.
Wait, there's more.
Hey, Grandma.
Someone match it.
Frutelli, the family drink. This advert is FDA approved.
Putting on just the fabric isn't really enough. You have to put on your confidence. I chose this printed fabric because it symbolizes hope and success because of the color and the texture.
Welcome to a place where everyday living is reimagined, where space, movement, and community come together effortlessly. With thoughtfully designed spaces, modern facilities, and everything you need within reach. You don't just live here, you feel safe, comfortable, and at ease. Step inside Eden Heights and discover spaces crafted for comfort, style, and everyday living. And just when it feels right, you will know. Because this isn't just about finding a house. It's about stepping into a better way of living.
Eden Heights, the height of modern living.
Book a private viewing today.
The JoyNews Habitat Fair is about to surprise you.
Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Isiama, has directed all existing rural and community banks to complete their statutory name changes, corporate rebranding, and other regulatory requirements by 31st December 2026 as Ghana begins the transition from rural banking to new community banking model. He made these remarks at the commemoration of 50 years of rural banking in Ghana and the official transition from rural community banks to community banks.
It forms part of a broader reforms agenda aimed at modernizing the rural banking sector and positioning the institutions to play a more significant role in promoting financial inclusion, supporting local economic development, and serving the evolving needs of communities. Speaking at the commemoration of the 50 years of rural banking in Ghana and official launch of the transition to community banking, Dr. Isiama said all affected institutions must ensure full compliance with the new regulatory framework before the end of the year.
Existing banks are required to complete their statutory name changes, corporate rebranding, and other regulatory alignments by the end of December 2026, by the end of this year. All existing banks must complete their statutory name changes, their corporate rebranding, and of course, other regulatory alignments by the end of this year. The transition will be supported by appropriate prudential regulation and supervision, ensuring that the institutions live up to the new name, community banks.
Deputy Finance Minister Thomas Nyakwampen said government plans to make another budgetary allocation in the 2027 budget to continue the recapitalization of the Bank of Ghana, reaffirming its commitment to restoring the central bank's financial strength under a long-term program expected to run until 2032.
In March this year, government issued a 5 billion Ghana cedis bond for the recapitalization of the Bank of Ghana. This forms the beginning of a broader phase strategy to systematically restore the Bank of Ghana's balance sheet and financial strength by 2032. And in next year's budget, we will make another allocation to further recapitalize the central bank. Our efforts aim to reinforce its institutional independence, preserve monetary policy credibility, and ensure that it remains well positioned to deliver on its core mandate of price and financial stability. As stability entrenches in our community, community banks will be uniquely positioned to mobilize more savings, extend more credit, and support the growth of farmers, traders, and small businesses across Ghana. The community bank of the future must therefore be more than a lender.
Since their establishment, rural and community banks have played a critical role in mobilizing savings, financing agriculture and small businesses, supporting local entrepreneurs, and extending banking services to communities that were previously underserved by the formal financial sector.
Away from the banking sector, Ghana is stepping up efforts to strengthen its downstream petroleum industry, with government targeting expanded local refinery, stronger energy security, and increased private investment to drive economic growth. Speaking at the 7th Ghana International Petroleum Conference in Accra, Minister for Energy and Green Transition John Jinapor said ongoing expansion projects at the Tema Oil Refinery and Central Oil Refinery are expected to meet about 70% of the country's domestic demand for refined petroleum products, reducing fuel imports and enhancing economic resilience.
Chief Executive of the National Petroleum Authority, Godwin Eduditamaklo, underscored the importance of investing in human capital to build a resilient and globally competitive downstream petroleum industry.
That quite recently, one of our oil refineries, Central, took about 1 million barrels from the Jubilee field and is processing that to fuel for us. I'm also happy to announce that today, our own Tema Oil Refinery is taking another 1 million barrels from our own fields to process. And that, for me, tells you what leadership can do. Because when we assumed office, Tema Oil Refinery was being given out. It was being given out for $22 million. The refinery had not published its financials for 9 years. Today, I can report to you that not only have we published all the financials for the years, the refinery is making profit way in excess of the $22 million.
Chief Executive of the National Petroleum Authority, Godwin Eduditamaklo, underscored the importance of investing in human capital to build a resilient and globally competitive downstream petroleum industry.
Our greatest resource is not only the petroleum products we regulate, but the human capital that drives the industry. We must continue to equip our young professionals with knowledge, skills, innovative mindsets needed to lead the next generation of African energy leaders.
CEO of the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors, Dr. Patrick Ofori, called for increased investment in critical petroleum infrastructure.
We must continue investing in modern storage facilities, strategic pipeline connectivity, local refining capacity, transport corridors, and the road network that connect our depots. These investments will improve supply reliability, lower logistics costs, create jobs, stimulate industrialization, strengthen Ghana's energy security, and ensure efficient means of transporting petroleum products across the length and breadth of the country, and then also to even our neighboring countries.
The CEO of the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, Dr. Riversinopon, called for stronger collaboration to unlock the growth potential of Ghana's liquefied petroleum gas.
We have given the ministry and MPA thereof a proposal, but we believe that there are adequately sustainable ways of managing the LPG sector. There are still outlets that are almost 95 to 100% done that are still locked up because the regulator says they cannot work. We are hoping that all those discussions, coupled with whatever is before us, will be amended immediately or soon.
The conference brought together government officials, regulators, industry players, development partners, and delegates from Ghana and across the world to discuss the future of the country's downstream petroleum sector.
Away from the downstream sector, Joy Business, in partnership with the Super Morning Show, is set to host a high-level dialogue on the future of Ghana's poultry sector tomorrow, July 17. The forum will bring together key players in the poultry value chain to discuss how to reduce Ghana's dependence on imported chicken and build a competitive local industry. The dialogue will also assess the progress made so far, the challenges still holding back local producers, and what must be done to scale beyond the current intervention. Here's head of Joy Business, Akufo-Addo.
When it comes to poultry, poultry is about our everyday life.
Yeah.
We eat poultry
chicken,
every day.
Eggs. Yeah.
So yesterday I was telling somebody that unlike those days when we were young, you needed to wait
till Christmas,
or
a special occasion,
or a funeral to get some chicken to eat. Today we eat chicken almost every day, and so any discussion about poultry concerns you. And the interesting thing now is the fact that Ghana is only producing locally just about 12 to 13% of the poultry products, particularly meat, chicken, that we eat. And that is an issue that's of concern to everybody. And that's why we've had successive government introduce interventions to try and address the issues with poultry meat. Akukon Kitinkiti is just the base upon which we are starting our conversation. But we are not just looking at Akukon Kitinkiti. We believe that we need to learn from what we have done in the past, and so we are looking at the various poultry interventions that have been introduced since 1992. What lessons have we learned? And that is important. We need to learn lessons from our successes and our failures of the past to shape what we'll do in the future.
And I bet you would want to make a date with us tomorrow here on the channel, as well as Joy 99.7 FM, and of course all our social media platforms for that great discussion on the poultry industry at 9:30 a.m. Now, the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, has called on the private sector to deepen its support for Ghana's agricultural transformation, saving sustained investment in farmers is essential to strengthening food security and driving economic growth. Speaking at the presentation of a brand new Nissan pickup truck, 20 motorcycles, and a brand new agricultural tractor donated by the Easy Group Foundation towards the 42nd National Farmers' Day celebrations, the minister said the government is committed to making this year's event the most rewarding in the country's history under the President John Dramani Mahama's Agriculture for Economic Transformation agenda.
Preparations for Ghana's 42nd National Farmers' Day celebration have received a major boost following a significant donation from the Easy Group Foundation to support this year's National Awards scheme. Receiving the donation on behalf of the government, the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, described the contribution as one of the largest corporate donations towards the celebration.
Over the years, the National Best Farmer is given some amount of money for him to provide residential facility for himself and his family, and some basic farming implements to support his activities. This year, we are taking it to a new level. The National Best Farmer will first receive a brand new pickup, which has been presented to us today by Easy Groups. This is meant for the National Best Farmer. And then apart from this, is going to take an amount of 1.2 million Ghana cedis. And then a brand new tractor and accessories and assorted farm inputs.
He called on more businesses and institutions to support the initiative, stressing that investing in farmers is critical to ensuring food security and driving economic growth.
Today, they are also giving us 20 motorcycles. We want to assure the general problem, as it was done last year. Last year, all the donations that we received, not a single one was left in the office here. Everything was given to the farmers. And we want to do the same thing. We at the ministry here, we are just a conduit for transmission. We mobilize and make sure it gets to the farmers. Because the ultimate should be the impact that we want to see on production.
Presenting the items, representatives of the Easy Group Foundation said the donation reflects the foundation's commitment to empowering farmers and supporting the government's effort to transform Ghana's agricultural sector.
Away from the agri sector, public relations practitioners and students are being urged to remain focused and use digital tools as a complement towards achieving higher goals in the field. This is to ensure that the advent of artificial intelligence tools does not render the work of public relations redundant. Speaking to Joy Business at the 6th World PR Day Festival in Ghana under the theme Reimagining PR, Chief Director of Global Media Alliance, Emma Wenani, advised that AI has a role to play alongside professional ethics. Here's a report.
The festival climaxed a PR dialogue dubbed Connecting Learning to Practice, an industry-academia engagement platform bringing together PR professionals, students, and stakeholders to discuss the future of public relations and bridge the gap between learning and practice. Global Media Alliance has been in the forefront of organizing the annual event as a form of celebrating outstanding personalities in the industry. Speaking to Joy Business after the engagement, Chief Director of Global Media Alliance, Emmanuel, advised that professional ethics cannot be replaced with artificial intelligence.
I think we can't refuse the fact that AI is here to stay. But I also believe that as practitioners, there are certain things that we have over AI, which is the empathy. AI doesn't have empathy, which we have. So when you're dealing with corporates, you're dealing with brands, you have the empathy. You're able to tell a story more differently, more felt than an AI machine will be able to do that. However, as practitioners as well, we need to be able to know how to utilize AI to make our work better. And I think that is something that we have been challenged throughout the whole festival. And even today by the Ambassador Designate to Nigeria, he mentioned that we need to be able to utilize AI to make our work better.
Some panel members also advised PR students on how to transition into the job market. Head of External Communications at Telecel Foundation, Rita Ejewa-Roxon, believes that AI can be used to enhance performance.
AI is fantastic. AI is great. However, the advice is not for us to lose our human elements in using AI, but to use it to enhance our skills as PR practitioners. We are looking at empathy, we are looking at our integrity, we are looking at PR ethics. So in as much as AI is fantastic, our ask, or what we ask students to do, is not to lose their humanness, but also use the humanness to enhance the work that AI can do for them to become better practitioners.
There was a Telecel PR pitch for students, after which winners were rewarded some cash prizes and other items.
More on artificial intelligence, governance experts are calling for stronger broad leadership and AI-ready governance as company secretaries take on more strategic roles in driving regulatory compliance, managing emerging risks, and creating long-term business value. They say strengthening the profession will improve corporate performance and investor confidence.
The inaugural Company Secretary Summit and Award has brought together governance professionals, legal practitioners, and business leaders to examine how stronger governance can create long-term value for organizations. Founder and Managing Director of Mindful Governance, Kharyne, says the role of the Company Secretary is evolving beyond statutory compliance into a strategic advisory function that supports board in decision-making, AI governance, and corporate accountability.
It's going to get much more challenging. The role of the company secretary is moving away from just being a record keeper and keeping the registers to being more of a strategic partner to the board. So that's why I see it going. With AI now, you also got to be abreast of the technological changes. So I think it's a very exciting time for company secretaries, and I am so happy that we can all be part of this conversation.
Chief Executive Officer of Cyrus Group, Charlotte Curtin says company secretaries remain the backbone of effective corporate governance by ensuring regulatory compliance, guiding boards, and preventing governance failures.
Company secretaries will continue to be important. When you see governance lapses, it's either because you have a weak, an absent, or an ignored company secretary. When you have an efficient company secretary that is allowed to function properly, you would not find those governance lapses. So if you see it as a steering wheel that controls how you go, how fast you go, where you go, then it is a better tool for you. So it's how you choose to deploy the tool. But if you have a weak company secretary, an absent company secretary, or an ignored company secretary, you're almost certain that the company is going to run into trouble sooner than later.
Founder and Chief Executive Officer of Governance AI, Carl George, says businesses must treat artificial intelligence as a strategic governance issue rather than a purely technological one.
What can we do with all of this information that I've been sharing with you today? Well, the first thing is to understand that AI is not a technical cyber aspect of our organization. It is strategic. It's to understand that we need to now go back to our boardrooms and make sure that we've got the literacy right, and understand that the pace of change of AI, our governance systems have not kept up. We've got to have more dynamic governance. We can't use the whole principles because there's a deficit. And once we've done all of that, we want to deploy AI safely, responsibly, with the right guardrails in place and the right boundaries.
Stakeholders believe strengthening the strategic role of company secretaries and embedding responsible AI governance will enhance board effectiveness, improve investor confidence, and position Ghanaian businesses for sustainable growth in an increasingly technology-driven global economy.
More business news. Government has selected a strategic investor to revive the Volta Star Textiles Limited to modernize the Dwapong factory, expected to begin soon. Speaking during his resetted Ghana tour of the Volta region, President John Mahama said the investor, together with the transaction advisor, will soon visit the factory to begin plans for its redevelopment.
And international markets. No discussion about Dwapong can be complete without recognizing the historic contribution of the Volta Star Textile Limited. Which for many years symbolized hope, employment, and industrial progress while supporting thousands of families and shaping the community's economic identity. Government is determined to restore the legacy of the Volta Star Textiles Limited. We are going to do this through strategic partnerships, investment mobilization, and modernization of the factory's operations. And I'm pleased to inform you that this process has made very significant progress. We appointed a transactions advisor. We advertised for strategic investors to apply. They applied, they submitted bids, and we have selected one strategic investor to partner us to revitalize the factory. And I wish to inform Togbi Mamao and the workers of Volta Star Textiles Limited that very soon the transaction advisor is bringing the strategic investor to visit the factory and start the design for modernizing the factory. The revitalization of this factory will create sustainable jobs in the Dwapong area. It will strengthen Ghana's textile value chain, and it will reposition Dwapong as a vibrant industrial hub, complementing our broader investments in agriculture, commerce, and infrastructure. And one of the things somebody asked was where we're going to get the cotton to spin. Arrangements are being made to sign a memorandum of understanding with the government of Benin to supply us with cotton from Benin to feed the factory in Ghana.
Now, the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment says Ghana's newly launched labor exchange program will create safe and structured pathways for young people to access international jobs. The initiative is expected to help address labor shortages in Europe while supporting Ghana's long-term economic growth. Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment, Akufo-Addo, says the program will equip participants with skills, language training, and international workplace standards.
The Labour Exchange Programme is a partnership between the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment, the Ministry of Labour, Jobs and Employment, and Nayet Consult Limited to create structured pathways for Ghanaian youth to access jobs abroad. Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment, Akufo-Addo, says the initiative will equip participants with language training, technical skills, and international workplace standards while meeting labour demand in key sectors across Europe.
The Labour Exchange Programme provides a structured, transparent, and dignified platform for Ghanaian youth to access international opportunities, particularly within the European labour market. This is not merely facilitating overseas employment. It is about investing in human capital, strengthening competitiveness of our workforce, and enabling young Ghanaians to participate confidently in the global economy. This is a structured program. This is a program that seeks to send our young people out of this country, go out there for training, make sure they earn new skills, and at the end of the day, we expect that they bring those skills back to help improve our labor force back home.
Chief Executive of Nayet Consult Limited, Ajina Kesitechi, says the partnership gives the program stronger institutional backing and greater transparency through oversight by both government ministries.
We've been seeking to partner with the government for something we've been doing for the past 4 years. And it is good to be recognized that you are doing the right thing, you are doing it well, and you are impacting the youth of the country. So from now to the end of this year, we are hoping to get about between 500 and 1,000 people onboarded on our program and on their way to Germany.
Stakeholders say the initiative offers a credible alternative to irregular migration while creating opportunities for skills acquisition and future economic growth.
This is a very reliable and it's almost an inexpensive program. When you think about it carefully, Germany is the largest economy in Europe. It's a place that young people can thrive. It's got all these extensions, a very integrated industry. So if you have Ghanaians taking advantage of this opportunity, it can only help to extend the economy of Ghana, because in the future you're going to be expecting remittances, you're going to be expecting knowledge transfer or transfer of skills, and all of this help to bolster the Ghanaian economy over time.
Labour exchange program will be expanded through stronger collaboration with international employers to create more decent jobs, develop globally competitive skills, and position Ghana as a reliable source of skilled labour for the international market.
We've got the latest commodities for you. We do apologize for our inability to bring you that commodities update. But that's it for Prime Business. I am Pius Kojubaka. Let's connect same time tomorrow. Benaya Dafamekbo is next with sports.
Hey, what's up?
Life. It's moving so fast. Yesterday I was in class 4. Today I'm almost in JHS. My shoes don't fit me anymore. My voice is deeper. I was watching cartoons, but now they say I'm too old for that.
The more things change, the more they'll stay the same. I still love you the same.
Come and sit, Dad.
In a world that keeps changing, Kalipo still keeps making sweet memories.
I still love it.
Dad, I told you to have a sip, not to finish it.
Kalipo food juice drink, making sweet memories. This
Palladium Residences in Achimota isn't just an address. It's the home you truly earned. Secure your place with just a 10% deposit and choose from beautifully designed modern apartments or spacious townhouses built for everyday comfort. This is more than a building. It's a vibrant, curated community with a clubhouse, state-of-the-art gym, and an on-site hotel, all at ABC Junction, minutes from Achimota Mall. Enjoy city energy while retreating to your private sanctuary. Call now to reserve your unit and benefit from limited launch incentives, including priority unit selection, executive pricing, and flexible payment options available. Don't miss the chance to pick the best homes. Book your private site visit today. Call 050-9823-424. Palladium Residences. Live smart, invest better.
When malaria shows up, it doesn't knock. It just takes over.
Oh, no. This fever is too much.
When malaria comes,
respond with Mala-2.
Fight malaria with Mala-2 tablets or syrup from Ernest Chemists. Test for malaria first before taking Mala-2. If symptoms persist for more than 48 hours, see a doctor. This advert is FDA approved.
Seeing the Prentex fabric, I like the color, texture. I chose this design that suits my body type. It means a lot to me to look good in clothes that I wear. I don't care about nobody's opinion. Maso. Prentex.
PM Express, power is confronted, claims are tested, and accountability is not optional.
The first 2 months in office between January, February, and March, we had already brought down this rate, and then we have sustained it since.
Politics, business, the economy, social justice. If it affects your life, it will be examined. If it shapes your future, it will be interrogated.
You ever sitting there today and you see me sweating, I'm answering your question, you in the comfort of your chair putting all these questions to me. That is why you would not have the responsibility of bringing about this document.
No safe spaces for evasion, no comfort in half-truths, just facts, pressure, and the courage to stay with the question until the answer comes.
Your word says,
my words were,
those on Compact Plus, you pay $570 and you get more channels.
Evans,
that moves you.
This is the speech.
To the
speech I read yesterday is what I'm holding here. You didn't read the speech. You didn't write it. I wrote it and I read it.
Because democracy demands scrutiny and the public deserves clarity. When the day's noise fades and the nation needs understanding, there is PM Express on JoyNews. Independent, fearless, credible.
Hi, good evening. Welcome to Prime Sports with me, Benaya Elom. The former Ghana internationals Like Kingston and David Akam have shared their thoughts on reports that Black Stars head coach Carlos Queiroz could be handed a new contract extension. Now, the Portuguese manager's current deal is set to expire at the end of this month after guiding Ghana to the round of 32 at the FIFA World Cup, where Black Stars ended their campaign with a defeat to Colombia. While discussions over Queiroz's future continue, both former players believe Ghana's challenges run deeper than the head coach and insist that a long-term project is needed to revive the national team.
Start building from the ground. That's what we need to get the principles, our methodology. How do you want to play? How do you want to go forward? So it starts from the ground. You can't build from the top. When you're building a house, you can't build from the top. We need the foundation. The foundation is not there. So no matter the coach who brings in, it won't work. They will try to patch it. You saw the World Cup. They patch it up. They use plaster to patch it up, and when it rains, it will sink. It will drain. So we need to build from there.
But they say you didn't have enough time. So this is not for you to have enough time. You know. Coach, before you come in, go ahead. Before you come in, I always say there is the most traumatic situation in coach's life is you putting players on the field. You are on the touchline that you don't even know the players. You don't even believe or trust the player's ability. It's trauma. It's trauma for you. Anytime he gets the ball, you don't know what you do with the ball. You'll be, So for me, fine. Now, if they want to give him 2 years, that's fine. That's fine. But then go back down. Find a coach that will be your project. 2 years. Within 2 years, that coach should be okay enough to handle the U20s, U15s, U17s, U20s. With that, after 2 years, 3 years, bring him closer to the first team. Bring him closer to at least 1 year as an assistant. And then after 1 year, boom, That 3-4 years, all the youth players that you've been with, if that time their age is 16 years, 3-4 years, they are 19, 20, and that's the right age for a first in football.
So you think the move to keep Coach Carlos is good? However, there should be some plan
behind. There should be some plan behind. There should be a long-term plan, and there should be a project coach also. Project coach and project players. National teams, every national team have project players. Even club level, the academies, they have project players. You have about 70 players in one academy. But trust me, the owner of the academy have it in their mind that these 5 players in each group, they are the ones that they should pay particular attention to because they have the potential.
That's why
David knows what I'm saying. David, it's a project. It's a project.
As a player, we rate them A+, A, B. And we know the A+, they are more like that
in your group.
Potential.
He was A+ in the group. Before he was 14 years, he signed a Nike big deal contract. It's a project for Right to Dream.
For me, I will support Carlos Queiroz, but I don't think he's the right man. Because, look, I've watched him for so many years. His style of football
doesn't suit us?
Would not suit us.
No.
That is one thing. You see, we are all talking about project. The way he plays his game, that is not the Ghanaian DNA. So again, we are gambling that hopefully it will work.
Yeah.
I don't think it will work because everywhere he's been, he's a defensive-minded coach. We don't play our football like that. It was important we brought somebody like him for the World Cup. That I supported. But in the long term, per his methods, he's going to take a lot away from our team.
From the senior national team, let's go to the under-20 because Ghana's Black Satellites have been drawn in Group B alongside regional rivals Nigeria at the Wafubi Under-20 Championship with the qualifying tournament for the 2027 Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. The draw sets to be staged for another exciting chapter in the long-standing football rivalry between the two nations. Now, the Black Satellites will also face Togo and Burkina Faso in their quest to secure qualification for the Continental Championship. Group A comprises of host Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, and Niger, with the 3 teams expected to provide an equally competitive contest as they battle for a place at the 2027 CAF Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. The tournament will be held from July 26 to August 9 in Cote d'Ivoire. After a successful edition, which has happened in the last 6 years, Ghana's premier urban cycling event, Pro Ride, is set to return for its 7th edition in Accra, with organizers promising an even bigger and stiffer competition. We have more for you in this report.
The event was officially launched at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium in partnership with the Ghana Cycling Federation. Among the dignitaries were the University of Ghana's Director of Sports and Wellness, Dr. Austin Lukatera, President of the Ghana Olympic Committee, Richard Apokavi, Greater Accra Regional Director of the National Road Safety Authority, Joshua Kwesi Quest, National Director of Operations of the Ghana Police Service, Dr. Sasu Mensah, and a representative of the Ministry of Sports and Recreation, Baba Tanko. The festival will begin with a 30-kilometer fun ride on August 22, aimed at encouraging fitness and healthy living through cycling. Attention will then shift to the elite race, scheduled for Sunday, September 6 at the Botiman Sports Complex. Male cyclists will compete over 112 kilometers, while the women's race will cover 62 kilometers. The overall winner is set to walk home with a cash prize of 15,000 Ghana cedis. Chief Executive Officer of Prudential Life Insurance Ghana, Jane Mingle, said the event continues to promote healthy lifestyles while supporting the growth of cycling in the country.
So, like we said in the launch earlier, we write life insurance policies, right? So we believe in the life staying healthy. So once life is healthy, we are running a very sustainable business. So we are getting people to ride to stay healthy, so that we also have a very healthy portfolio. This is the 7th edition, and 7, like we said, is for perfection. So we're trying to do everything perfect this year. For the first time, we've seen all the partners coming on board for road safety to ensure that everybody is safe on the road. We have the Sports Authority also stepping up and collaborating with us a lot more. We write insurance. We are not experts in sports. So having these partners to come on board to guide us along the way to ensure that we get a larger community to ride, not just the professionals, but we are bringing on board ordinary men like us. And that's why I want to start with the university. These are the youth. If they get into the spirit of cycling and that behavior, it will also catch up with their families, and then will extend a wider people riding for safety and also for their own well-being.
President of the Ghana Olympic Committee, Richard Akufo-Addo, also highlighted the importance of the race in providing local cyclists with competitive opportunities.
Easily the best thing is competition. I mean, a lot of cyclists, they train, they do all kinds of, but they need that competition. So this competition, regular 7 years, is good because you test your readiness for international competitions and that kind of. So it's good. That's why I was encouraging them to take it beyond the competitions now, to see how they can send the athletes to international competitions representing Ghana, but they will be sponsoring them. That will be good for them. I think it's very important that we listen to what the police are saying and what the road safety people are saying. If you recall, a few years back, one of the cyclists, the national captain, I believe, was killed. And yes, I think on the Brie Road there somewhere. Yeah, and that should tell you the dangers. That's why it's important that the pro ride it takes into consideration safety of the athletes. So it's important that we respect the pedestrians, and when you see a cycling competition, there will be barriers, there will be police. Just respect what they are asking you to do so that we will all be safe.
To the World Cup now, where England were left heartbroken as their dreams were shattered when Argentina struck twice late to come from behind to win it in a dramatic semi-final tie in Atlanta. Thomas Tuchel's side look on course to reach their first ever World Cup final since their triumph in 1966, when Anthony Gordon gave them the lead in the 55th minute. Argentina, however, mounted a late comeback when Enzo Fernandez equalized with 5 minutes remaining before Lautaro Martinez headed home a beautiful cross from Lionel Messi to secure victory for the Argentines. England's head coach Thomas Tuchel and defender Dan Burn both shared their disappointment after missing out on the final.
That's just the nature of the game. As soon as you lose, you get criticized. That's just what it is. And you get criticized after. No one knows what would have happened if we made different decisions. So it makes no sense to engage in that and lose my head. I'm responsible for them. I took them, so I take the criticism. That's just the way it is.
Mike. Hi, Thomas. You've spoken a lot at this tournament about the mentality of the players. But tonight we've seen, it seems to be a very English thing that we get to the latter stages of tournaments, we get the first goal and then we defend. Do you think there is a problem, or do you think it's just a football situation?
I love to see these things in a football matter and through football classes. So first of all, I always think it's solvable on the football field. I don't believe so much in an English thing and in a curse or whatever, or in like history repeating itself in these moments. It's just like it's different coaches, different players, different situations, different opponents. So I think basically I believe in the football thing, which for me still as a football coach cost us today, because I think we were just not active enough in any structure. We were not active enough in our 4-4-2, and we were not active enough later in a 5-3-2 and not in a 5-4-1. Active meaning we didn't find any duels anymore. We didn't find any activity anymore. We couldn't get close anymore to play on the ball. That's why we couldn't get. We struggled to defend the crosses. The positioning in the box was better then because we had per se 3 central defenders, but we didn't stop the runners into the box. So we were not physical enough in the second line. And I think you can defend active in a 4-4-2. You can defend active in any formation. You can get ball possession in any formation. We struggled to stay active. We could not get any ball possession to escape the pressure and to turn the momentum around. So at the moment, I think in it as a football matter, and I'm a part of that, and try to solve it from the sideline. And yeah, sad and upset for my players, of course, because we were close. It's just what it is at the moment.
Yeah. Thomas, Manuel Martin for.
We nailed the game plan up until we scored. I thought we did really well. We knew what Argentina were going to do, and I thought we dealt with it pretty well. And we got a little bit passive after the goal. Defended probably a little bit too deep in the quality of chances that Argentina were creating. I thought it felt like it was a matter of time. I think we conceded too many crosses and too many chances, and I think it's hard because in the previous games we've defended those so well. To get that close and not do it, it's very sad.
Let's now hear from England supporters who also shared their frustration after failing to reach the final.
We were ahead 1-0, so I'm so gutted that we then decided to defend a lead and we left Messi completely free for the entire game, and he was dictating everything, wasn't he?
Absolutely gutted is an understatement. I think up until now a great tournament, but bringing on a lot of defenders was, we're asking for it, I'm afraid.
We've done the Gareth Southgate, haven't we, right at the end, and the most important game we've ever played for the last 50 years. We've gone negative when we had an opportunity to just stay positive. We were running rings around them when we had that positivity.
Thomas Tuchel is definitely a step in the right direction, from Gareth Southgate. He's got that fresh ideas, super smart man. I just think, to be fair, I thought bringing on defenders and really banking on getting that 1-0 in regular time might have been the wrong choice, but not for me to say, to be honest. I think he's got great ideas. It wouldn't change anything next tournament.
1-0 up, and what happened? We brought on defenders. That's the time to press again, go 2-0 up, kill the game.
I think when we were 1-0, if we'd have bagged another and it was 2-0, I'd have rode us the whole way. I think it would have finished 2-0. But as soon as you invite a team as good as them to just press us the whole time, like when they score another, that momentum change, they're gonna bag another. Too much talent.
I don't really know how to feel, to be honest. I thought we were there. I really did.
We had it at 1-0, and then we sat back, did that thing where, I think we went to a back five, didn't we? Sat back a bit too early, took off Gordon, that was a shame, he was brilliant. Lose to Argentina again, very annoying.
It's time to head to Berlin for an update on German football. And for this roundup, we are joined by our correspondent, Thomas Parrow, from our partner station, DW in Berlin. Welcome, Thomas. Now, after Germany's poor performance at the FIFA World Cup, what changes are we expecting to be made to make sure the national team does better next time?
Obviously, the biggest change is a new manager. The German Football Federation acted quickly after the disappointment, making sure Julian Nagelsmann left his role as coach and starting discussions straight away with Jürgen Klopp. But the changes and the problems go beyond just who's the national team manager. The poor performance at the World Cup has generated a discussion about what went wrong and what needs to change. When you look at what went wrong, analysts have pointed to the fact that individual players did not deliver as expected on the field, on the world stage, from captain Joshua Kimmich to Florian Wirtz to Jamal Musiala. But the analysts also mention collective problems, like a weak defense, which meant Germany did not go a game at the World Cup without conceding, even against comparatively weaker teams like Curaçao. And when looking at what needs to change, some have pointed to a team with many key players that are not that young anymore. Beyond Manuel Neuer, whose return at 40 to the national team was only for this World Cup, Kimmich is 31, Rüdiger is 33, Goretzka is 31, and that's just to name a few. So this suggests a need for generational change.
You spoke about Jürgen Klopp. How do Germans view his possible appointment?
Klopp has a sort of cult status in Germany with his charisma, with his humor, but also with a career that has been very successful, especially during his tenure as head coach of Liverpool. So no one doubts that he has the credentials to lead the national team and also the capacity to unite the national team after 3 very disappointing World Cups, because let's not forget, it's not only about the current World Cup. Germany also disappointed in 2018. It also disappointed in 2022. That said, not everyone seems to be happy with Klopp's probable appointment. Some say success at team level does not automatically equate to success leading a national team. Others are eagerly awaiting to see what kind of agreement is reached between the German Football Association and Red Bull. Red Bull is Klopp's current employer. Any kind of future link between the manager and Red Bull, for example, as an advisor, is already being questioned by football experts as a possible independence breach. What would happen, for instance, if Klopp calls to the national team players from RB Leipzig, which is owned by Red Bull? So while many are hopeful about this probable new chapter under Klopp, not everyone is on board, and there are still some questions that need to be answered.
And Sparrow, the World Cup will be over in just about 3 days. The Germans are starting to focus on the Bundesliga again. So what should we expect when the new season begins?
What we can expect when the new season begins is specifically for these debates around a renewal in German football to also be discussed once the Bundesliga starts. After all, it's here in the National League, in the Bundesliga, where that renewal can begin, where young players can be promoted, where teams can focus on strengthening their squads and developing new talent. The Bundesliga is the testing ground for success at a national level. Just think that Germany's World Cup winning team in 2014 revolved around players that had left their mark in the Bundesliga. Neuer, Lahm, Kroos, Götze, Müller, Klose, Schweinsteiger, and many others. So beyond this, there will also be questions about Bayern Munich's dominance of the Bundesliga. Except for Bayer Leverkusen's surprise league title in 2024, Bayern have comfortably dominated the league for the past decade. This means there will also be questions about which teams can challenge that leadership. Could Leverkusen surprise again? What about Dortmund? Can they be challengers? Or RB Leipzig? These are all discussions that are already underway among fans as they eagerly await for the start of next season next month.
That's Thomas Parrow from our partner station in Berlin. Thanks for the update. And that's how I wrap up the sports segment with me, Benaya Elom, the farmer. For more stories, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. Have a good evening.
In one of the pavilion behind. Later that we had this new building. Then we now moved to the new building.
You did a lot. They have come here and asked us, and they have continued our 6-unit classroom building.
A lot has changed. After documentary, we had 60 tables and